Hey guys, got a new soap, got a new razor. We'll be using the Gillette Silver Blue as we try out the new razor. It's a good blade that will often give me a good shave with many different razors. Gonna put another use on the Semogue C5 Torga, a boar brush that's kind of the short and scrubby that Semogue has to offer. Came out within the past year. And the two new things. Got Intrepid Man from Stirling. It's a new scent they've come out within the last month or so. And it is a dupe of Creed's original Santal, I believe. And it's very lightly scented from the tub. That's my only concern. I know it's going to have the terrific Stirling performance. Just a nice cologne scent. Light. But let's see if it's too light. I've had to pass on a few of the cologne types from Stirling just because they weren't all that strong. This is a razor I didn't even know about until a few days ago. Now, obviously, we've got a handle that we've seen on charcoal goods for quite a while. This is the Maze handle, and I tell you what, I really like it. It's a little on the short side. In my big hands, it looks kind of small. But I like the design. I got quite a deal on it. It came with the torpedo handle as well. I put the torpedo handle on it, and man, that thing's a big handle. And this is exactly what I thought when I looked at the torpedo handle. It's got knurling and then these three rings because it's trying to make it look like a torpedo, and then another kind of set of knurling, and then kind of, for propellers, the three rings or so. And those three rings are exactly where I want to grip it. I'm still going to try it out. But it came kind of as a deal, and I thought, you know what, if I don't like one of those handles, I can sell them, that sort of thing. So this is called the Everyday from Charcoal Goods. And at first I was like, oh, terrific, because Charcoal Goods has their first generation series that just doesn't shave well for me. Even going down to their mildest razor was still too rough for me to use, even on an occasional basis, much less daily. Well, apparently I wasn't the only one, and so they came out with a different razor head. You can see it's a little bit more clunky and chunky than the very elegant looking other razors. They came in different generations, Gen 1, 2, and stuff. So I don't really want to call them Gen 1. We'll just call them the original Charcoal Goods. I'm not really sure. It looks like a Goodwill with those diamonds on the top to hold the blade. And what's really encouraging? Look how wide this plate is. And this bevel right here, look how close this little bevel comes down toward this gap area, toward the slots. And so it looks like it's going to really hold on well to the blade. That's not what the other one did. So I'm really happy about this. The cap, pretty standard, just like the Goodwills. It makes a recess area for those, two diamond things. They did put a diagonal pattern on the cap, and the pictures, I didn't really like the way it looked, but it looks fine in person. The bottom is kind of interesting. It looks like they just had a round milling bit and just went all over the place with this thing, So it's kind of interesting, but kind of doesn't look awesome at the same time, at least to my eyeballs. All right, so this is the Everyday from Charcoal Goods. What does it remind me of? Reminds me of the Karve, kind of chunky on the bar, that sort of thing. But let's give it a shot and see what we get. I thought, finally a razor from Charcoal Goods that I might be able to use, because the originals, they were so beautiful to look at. This is not quite as nice, but at least least this one might be usable. It's got a lot of weight to it. The torpedo is nice because it balances the head out a little bit more, whereas this one, the head kind of, it's a little head heavy, so there's kind of the balance point right there. Just looking at it, yeah, not a lot of exposure. This blade's only been used about 2 times, so I'm gonna get my face wet. We'll start loading up. Now, I know I like Stirling, but I've got tons of Stirling soaps. If this guy doesn't smell very strong, I'm afraid I'm probably just not going to want to keep him. So, I'm going to do if that's the case, I'm going to do the next owner a favor. Just in case they're picky about the soap being brush loaded, now I can say it's only been scooped. And many shavers regard that as more sanitary and an appealing thing when they look to go buy a soap. It's a great scent. So now we will push and press and spread. But I tell you what, even if the scent is on the light side, you know, you can still go get the aftershave balm, the aftershave splash, and this of course applies to, you know, a bunch of different vendors, not just Stirling. If they make a soap that you like but it's a little too weak, then, you know, getting the aftershave product might be an idea. So this, so who knows, maybe after I try this, if it's too weak, I might, you know, sell the soap, but buy one of the other products. All right, so we've kind of smeared it around. 1/4 teaspoon. And we will take our bore brush here, shake out some of the water. Just start working. I'm a big sandalwood fan. Not a lot of the woody sandalwood is coming from the soap here. So it's a different kind. There's obviously some other pieces to it. Fill up my syringe so we can add. Man, I should have the water numbers for Stirling soap memorized pretty well, right? I really like the soap base and I use it a lot. So what I'm going to do is mix this around for just a little bit. I'm not even going to make it consistent. And then we'll add another teaspoon. This is a short little handle. I like this brush. I'm kind of thinking I will. Because I'm a bowl latherer for the most part, I might chop this handle off. Put this knot in a new one, longer handle. Nice. There's something with a little bit of flavor to it, like yuzu or maybe some type of citrus combined with some type of bright citrus combined with orange or something like that. It's very faint and it's so mixed in with other notes, but you can tell it's You can tell it's part of it. So I'm not really picking up any sandalwood. So this is not one that you really want to go with if you're a pure woody sandalwood fan. Speaking of sandalwood, I recently got in a Central Texas, I believe, is a soap maker. I've never tried one of their soaps before, and somebody had a used tub of sandalwood from them on sale, and so I bought it. From the tub, the scent is very, very, very light, and so I don't think it's going to be an instant attraction there because of the strength. But I'll be able to test out their base, you know, see how slick it is and all that. All right, now I used Stirling just the other day, and it reminded me just how much water the Stirling can handle. So let's push just a little bit more into it, and that'll do. 3.5 teaspoons. Lather looks terrific. It's very light as I move the brush through it. Let's go for that. All right, I'm going to rinse my face. So we've got a fairly new blade in the razor, and we've got a nice, reliable soap base. It is a new scent to me, but it's not a new soap base. Stirling is just terrific. And this brush really turned a corner the last couple of shaves. It has really relaxed. It is very comfortable, and I'm really going to enjoy using it as the tips just keep splitting and getting softer and softer. Kind of a massagey feel right now because not as many tips have split. I mean, a good many have, but there's a lot to go. It does remind me a little bit about Executive Man, Creed Aventus. It's very nice. And see, look, I could still have added some more water to this one. Lather is so thick. Creamy. And there we go. Let's just go with that. The soap could definitely take some more water, but it's late. So we've got 4 teaspoons in the lather so far. Spend a few minutes putting the lather on so we know that the lather's kind of bonded to our skin. It's going to be helping us out to protect, that sort of thing. And here we go. How about this little guy? Feels like I'm holding a hammer. Oh, now see, there we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my speed right there. I'm sure it's going to have some nice efficiency at the end of the shave. But this is a terrific level of comfort. Little tiny bit of blade feel. Little bit. Really nice. Kind of reminds me of that Bronze Timeless 38 gap, I think. Just a terrific go-between between efficient cutting and comfort. So having just rinsed, I'm now able to say that I do enjoy the scent, but it's so quiet that I'm not able to enjoy too many sophisticated parts of it. So the soap form is going to be a more simplistic view of this scent, at least if you've got a nose like mine. Now don't get me wrong, it's enjoyable and pleasant. And I definitely wouldn't have a problem using a tub of this up until it was gone. But if you're looking for kind of character to your soaps and a little bit more sophistication and depth, then this one might not be in that league. Now, like I said, if you want to pair it with the aftershave or the EDT, that's a different story. Oh man, it'd be a great bath soap. This would be awesome to have around you as you're doing your shower. And looks terrific. Just creamy and slick. Wonderful. And now we'll do a cross grain, and comfort is even higher than before. Pretty easy to find the shaving angle, pretty natural. I added another teaspoon to the lather in the bowl. So that's why I'm getting this terrific, really wet, kind of slick lather going on right here. All right, rinse again. What's running through my head as I'm using this razor is, number one, that I'm really enjoying it. There's the elasticity of the properly hydrated Stirling soap, at least the way I like it. So the first thing that's going through my head is how nice the razor is, and I totally get behind using it every single day. Wonderful, assuming I get to the end of the shave and we've got reasonable closeness. But the second thing that's running through my head is, it's kind of a Karve. I've got a Karve with several base plates. It's brass. So is this. And so I like to not have a collection for the sake of having a collection. I have a bunch of razors, but I want each of them to bring something different to the table, to have a different place in the experience. And I don't know that this one does with the Karve already in my den. And it's expensive-ish. I don't think it's as much as the normal charcoal goods, right? And so it's, if it were cheaper, then I would definitely keep it around just because it shaves great. I enjoy it. I am feeling the weight of the head as I'm moving it here. It definitely feels like it's top heavy. All right, let's see how the shave went. Man, this Stirling. So this is not a mind-blowing scent. This is not a revolutionary scent. This is a almost, it's got a classic feel to it, fresh. It's got a slight sweetness to it, but don't mistake that for anything gourmand related at all. I'm not saying that at all. Maybe what, that little citrus burst or whatever I was telling you about, but and it may not even be citrus. I may be misidentifying it, but it's more than just like a musky type scent, right? They brought some other things in there to balance everything out, and I really enjoy using it. And I was very happy to go ahead and buy this one new to support Stirling instead of waiting for it to come around in the used market. Occasionally I'll do that. I'm definitely a fan of the used market and getting my soaps that way. But every once in a while I do like, especially when they put out a scent that sounds like it's right up my alley. Well, it's really less up my alley and more like a lot of the other cologne scents that they have. At least in the soap form, like I'm saying, a lot of those scents, the delicacy of the scents, are lost when you put the fragrance oils and stuff inside the soap base. But I would say the scent strength is maybe 4 out of 10, something like that. So it's there, it's present, it's around you while you're shaving, but it's just a nice, clean, fresh, enjoyable scent. Not going to ruffle any feathers, probably. So daily use, definitely. Does it crowd out any others that maybe have a little bit more character? That's going to be dependent on your goals and your priorities, right? So if original Santal is the scent it's based off of, Santal meaning sandalwood, I'm still not picking up anything. Maybe I made a mistake about the inspired scent that it's a dupe of. So that's a little bit of a fail there, or at least a misconception, a preconceived notion that I had, assumption, that's the word I was looking for. And that is not necessarily the fault of the maker. Now, if they say that it's got sandalwood in it, then that's weird, because I sure didn't pick up any. But very nice. And so, since it's a sandalwood type scent, I decided, it's been a while since I've used some Lucky Tiger, and it's kind of an orange scent, and orange goes really well with sandalwood. Now, in this case, the orange is just going to have to go with whatever is really in the scent. I'm sure it will be fine. This is a non-alcohol tonic. It's got things like aloe and calendula and chamomile and other skin goodies. Been around for a long time, since 1935, says the label. And there we go. Yeah, that's a good blend. That's a good transition. And with that 1/4 teaspoon, we had plenty of soap. I can definitely reduce the amount of soap, because I can probably do 3 passes out of that right there. Look how relaxed that is. Look how elastic. It moves without me even having to do anything. That's perfect. That is Stirling perfect for my preferences. Excellent. All right, so a big win in terms of the soap because it's enjoyable, I would definitely see having no problem having fun with this soap and enjoying it for days and days and days without a problem. And so I don't think it's meant to step into any spheres and disrupt anything, with being some kind of amazing soap scent. Now, I think I like it enough to try either the alcohol aftershave, or maybe the EDT. So I'll have to keep my eyes open, see what happens. All right, well, there we go, new soap. Razor did really well. Now, let's check for the closeness. Well, I said it did really well, and what I meant was in terms of comfort and feel was tremendous. The Gillette Silver Blue was a great match to this razor, but also the closeness of the cut is excellent, very good. So comfort and closeness, they have stumbled upon, at least for my face, a really nice ratio, a really nice exposure of the blade, comfort. The only beef I have is just the weight of the head. It just feels a little too big for this little handle. So maybe tomorrow I'll bring out that torpedo and we'll see what that feels like. So the waiting period on this brush with bores, sometimes there's a waiting period until it gets to be really enjoyable, where enough of the tips break in to where you are feeling softness, where enough of the splay opens up to where it holds plenty of lather for you to do what you want to do. Well, one or two times ago is where this guy hit it, and it is a joy to use now. Like I said, the handle is short, but if you're a face lather, then you'd probably like that anyway. So a big support for this little brush. Not too expensive for Semogue. It's a resin handle, so it's going to last a nice long time. It's chunky. It's bigger than it looks in the photographs, I'll tell you that much. But I really might transfer this knot to something else. I don't know for sure. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to put more uses on it. See how that goes. All right. So a total of, looks like 5 teaspoons of water were used in this lather. And that's a 1/4 teaspoon. So I could definitely reduce both of those amounts in equal proportions and conserve a little bit of soap if I wanted to. Now, like I said, this handle, it's beautiful. But it is also possible for me to trade it for one with a little bit more length, maybe not as much length and weight as the torpedo that I have, but one with just a little more than what this maze has, which is a shame because the maze is really neat. It's got visual appeal, but it's also functional because that maze design gives you plenty of grip on the razor. But I gotta have a little bit more length and handle, gotta balance out that head. All right, there we go. Face feels great. No irritation, anything like that. One of the benefits of a chunky head like that is the inertia that it carries as you move it across your face. There's less of a tendency for you to pull it through the hairs and more of a tendency for it to just move through them smoothly. And I've had a lighter razor that I've used, and I did really feel it cutting through the hairs, where the heavier ones like Timeless and that sort of thing will just have a smoother feel, just because of the weight. Even if the geometry was the same, the weight can make a big difference in terms of the feel. And so I believe this head, it being chunky, is going to give you that same or similar feel as some of the heavier types of razors. So I really like it. If money was no object, I would definitely be keeping it around. But the switching out a new handle, that might be a good thought. All right. Well, of course, I want to try the torpedo first. I think, guys, I think that's it. I hope there's been something in here for you. You take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves.